Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to give you 5 reasons why the Tennessee Titans will succeed in 2019. This is a little video series I'm going to do for some teams in the NFL for the upcoming 2019 NFL campaign. But don't worry, I'll still do my season previews for each and every team. Let's get into the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Tennessee Titans are a team that I'm very excited about for this 2019 season. I have very high expectations and I have one wild record prediction for them that I won't spoil in this video, but I have a belief that this team will be successful in 2019. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why today, and I'll also give you 5 reasons why they might fail or in the very near future. So with that said, reason number 1 is because they've been a successful team for the past 3 seasons. Now, success is a relative term, but they've been 9-7 for 3 straight seasons. They've had 3 straight winning seasons. Now, last season has definitely been the most disappointing of the 3, right? Because coming off of that playoff appearance in which they won a playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and yes, got absolutely blown out by the New England Patriots, you expected to make the playoffs again, and if Marcus Mariota was healthy in that Week 17 game, it's a more competitive game, and maybe you do. So that was definitely a disappointing season, but still, to have a winning season in the NFL for a franchise that really has been in the doldrums of the NFL for the large part of the past decade, to be able to be a winning team for the past 3 years makes you a successful franchise. Now, it's definitely the time to take that next step, and for success for 2019, we're definitely talking about 10 wins or more. But 3 straight 9-7 seasons, and one of those including a playoff win, a comeback playoff win in Kansas City, a game that not a lot of people thought that the Tennessee Titans would win, although I did, by the way. That is something that is very commendable, and it gives you a lot of reason to believe they're going to be successful again in 2019. Reason number 2 why the Tennessee Titans will be successful in 2019 is because the wide receivers are finally good. Now, we've said this before, we've gone down this path before. I remember in 2013 when the Titans drafted Justin Hunter, I said, oh yes, we're gonna have Kenny Britt and Justin Hunter and Kendall Wright. I can't wait for this wide receiver core, and it absolutely failed. But this time it is legitimate, as we start with Corey Davis, who to me is an absolute #1 wide receiver. Yes, he only had about 900 receiving yards last season, but that's because the passing game in Tennessee was just so awful. He still had 27% of the possible receiving yards for Tennessee last season. You put him in a prolific NFL offense that accounts for 1,200 yards. Now, I expect him this season to ascend to being a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver. Now, whether or not he actually gets in due to, NFL bureaucracy and popularity contests, we'll see. But he is a Pro Bowl level wide receiver to me. He is a Pro Bowl talent. If you turn on the tape, you see him getting open consistently. You see him making catches mostly consistently, and you see the upside that he still has going into his 3rd season. I expect an even larger leap from Corey Davis. And then you add in A.J. Brown, who was my #1 receiver in the 2019 NFL draft. He's being added to the fold here. This is a guy that can play inside and outside, the perfect complement to Marcus Mariota. And you also throw in Adam Humphries from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a guy that was the best slot receiver in the NFL last season. Really, he had the most slot yards, the most catches. He was the best slot wide receiver in the NFL last season. Pure slot wide receiver, not a Jarvis Landry type that goes inside and outside. Pure slot wide receiver. That was Adam Humphries last season. He plays that role beautifully. So you look at that trio right there, and Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, and Adam Humphries. You have to be excited about that. And we're already hearing in OTAs that Tajay Sharp is doing his training camp and OTA move. He's looking great in training camp and OTAs again. And look, he's a guy that can have some decent games for us. I think he had one big game this season where he had, I think, even over 100 receiving yards. So he's a nice guy. And Taywan Taylor can still go over the top and beat people. Now, whether or not he actually catches the football when he actually gets down there is a different story. But he can still beat people down the middle of the field, down the sides of the field. And Cameron Batson and Darius Jennings, one of them will make the roster. And we saw the ability for them to make big plays as long as they can catch the football. I'm looking at you, Darius Jennings. So finally, I look at this wide receiver core in Tennessee and say it's good. It's not great. I'm not even gonna say it's top 10, but I finally can look at it and say, okay, this is a good wide receiver core, and if AJ Brown really is able to make a big impact this season, it could be a top 10 wide receiver core in the NFL. Number 3, Mike Vrabel's entering his second year. We know how NFL coaches, when they get more comfortable, most of them, they make leaps in their second year. Now, some of them go from having great first seasons to having disappointing second seasons. We saw that with Mike Munchak. But I expect the opposite here from Mike Vrabel, a guy that was, really just feeling his way into the beginning of last season, really didn't get into his own until later this season, but you saw the type of great victories that he can have and that he can lead. Look at that victory against his former team, the New England Patriots, a team that the Tennessee Titans absolutely dominated from start to finish of that football game. You have to put a lot of the reason for that dominance behind Mike Vrabel and the game plan he had in order. You look at a lot of the bold decisions that he made last season. Now, some of them did not work out. He's going to learn from that, and he's going to be able to make smarter decisions while also remaining bold whenever he has to. So I expect better decision making from him going forward. You look at that LA Chargers game in London, right? Being able to then say, okay, we're not going to run this horrible 2-point conversion play. Let's run something better. Arthur Smith, he is now the new offensive coordinator. He's going to be able to make better decisions, learning from Matt LaFleur's mistakes. So we had a lot of new coaches last season, a lot of turmoil, and as a result, the team was very inconsistent. Now we're having guys going into their second year. Now we're having the head coach going into his second year, and that is definitely a reason for success. Number 4, the young defensive players on this team continue to improve and really turn into stars for this football team. We all know about Kevin Byard at the free safety position, the guy at MTSU in the 3rd round of the 2016 NFL draft. This is a guy that's been an absolute all-pro safety, definitely at least a Pro Bowl safety the past number of seasons. He's going to continue to take a step up and continue to take a leadership role on this defense. How about Jeon Brown, who had an absolutely ridiculous game in Week 17 against Indianapolis Colts? He's going to take another step forward, and he's going to be working with Rashaan Evans more and more as he gets more and more into the fold. Rashaan Evans was really awful when he was starting, coming back from his injury in the 2018 NFL season, but he was really able to improve later on in the season and really improve and become a really decent player defensively. I expect him to actually now become a good defensive player in the middle of the Tennessee Titans defense. So you have to like the young defensive players for this football team, and they added Jeffrey Simmons, who might play this year. We'll see on that. If he does, it'll be November or December. But that's another guy that you look at, drafted number 19 overall in this 2019 NFL draft, that is added to this fold, that is added to this defense that really has a nice mix of young and veteran talent. And let's also not forget about Adoree Jackson, who I'm actually looking out for, who could maybe have a Pro Bowl season, right? Again, he's another guy like Corey Davis going from year 2 to year 3. Can he make that leap to being a great cornerback? Now, he's a good cornerback in this league. I didn't think he was going to be. I admit that. He's a good cornerback in this league. Can he now ascend to being a great cornerback in this league? He has the athleticism, and now he has experience, and he's improving his mental aspect of his game. Maybe he makes that leap as well. If he does, the Titans will definitely succeed in 2019. And the final reason why the Tennessee Titans will succeed in 2019, there are 5 significant players for the Tennessee Titans that are upcoming free agents. We have Kevin Byard, Derrick Henry, Jack Conklin, Logan Ryan, and of course, quarterback Mariota. And they have way too much on the line to not show up this season. Okay, I have no doubt that these guys are all team players, that they all want to, win games and, be a part of the team. I have no doubt about that. But when money is on the line, when your livelihood is on the line, when your NFL career is on the line, make no doubt about it, that's going to add some extra incentive for you to play a little bit harder, for you to study a little bit more, for you to go out on the football field and try 10% harder than you normally would. These guys have to show up in order to get paid this season. And let me tell you right now, of the 5 guys I just mentioned, only 3 are going to get paid. At best, maybe only 2. Especially if Mariota is one of the ones that gets extended. You look at the Titans 2020 cap right now. They have about $34 million projected in cap room right now. Now, if they do some maneuvering, including cutting Daquan Jones, which I'm sure they'll do, maybe cutting Cameron Wake if he doesn't do enough this season, it looks like he's finally done. maybe cutting Malcolm Butler, but I doubt they would do that, so I'm not even going to consider that. They could potentially get up to, like, let's say $45 million. But a Marcus Mariota extension is going to cut up about $25 million in cap room, leaving you only $20 million left, and you're going to have to, you know, save some of that for maybe some free agents that you want to go out and sign, and also definitely the 2020 NFL draft class, which you're going to have to keep $6-7 million for. So there are tough decisions that are going to be made. If these players want to get paid, especially by this football team, they're going to have to step up. Now, Mariota, we've talked about him. We're going to continue to talk about him, so I won't even talk about him in this video much. But you look at Derrick Henry. If he wants to get paid, he's going to have to give 16 full games. He cannot sleep like he did early last season. You look at Kevin Byard. I have no doubt he's going to get extended, but he wants his money, and he wants to be a Tennessee Titan. Now, he wants to get paid his due, so he's going to show up. He's going to play hard. Jack Conklin, he's on the edge, people. I mean, they did not give this guy that 5th-year option. He is on the edge. So look out for him. He's going to work extra hard, especially because he knows the guy behind him, and Dennis Kelly can start any given moment. And Logan Ryan, I think his time in Tennessee is done. He's going to try to work hard to get that next contract, whether it's for Tennessee or not. So all 5 of these guys, they're going to be working their hardest, and these are 5 integral guys for the Tennessee Titans. The starting quarterback, running back, cornerback, right tackle, and free safety. These are essential guys. And I know Logan Ryan plays a slot, but that's the starter in today's NFL. This is a big deal, people. So these guys are definitely going to have to step up. I think they will step up, and I think that's going to push the Titans to being that 10+ win team that they need to be, that they haven't been in recent years. So there you go. Those are 5 reasons why the Tennessee Titans will succeed in 2019. What are 5 reasons to you why the Titans will succeed in 2019? Comment down below. I want to know. I'll be back soon to give you 5 reasons why they might fail in 2019. So make sure you stick around and subscribe for that, and like the video if you haven't already. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.